Well, obviously pleased with the win. Well, first of all, I want to commend our players for the wanting to, go with the breast cancer awareness. I think everyone in here is some form of been affected by that, and it's a very difficult thing to deal with. And I really commend our players. They came to me during the week, and something they want to do. I also want to recognize our fans. Gator Walk was amazing, and the environment out there tonight was certainly a huge part of the game. I mean, it's a huge difference in the game when you got them backed up in those situations. Hard to check off, hard to communicate. They had some busted routes and protection. And a lot of that's due to our fans. We got the best fans in the country. So, pleased with the win. You take care of the ball. Obviously the block kick wasn't. We had two. Austin just kicked it too low. I mean, it had nothing to do with penetration. I mean, I could have blocked it. So we just can't. We've got to improve there. You can't miss an extra point at the end. So obviously, you've seen a little bit of where we are in the kicking game and why we've had some issues and where I've been with that. So that's a little frustrating. I've got confidence in those guys. Both of those guys have the ability. They just got to go out and do it. And they certainly showed the ability. Consistency in their performance is what needs to improve. So, disappointed with how we played the run early in the game. We got out of our gaps and guys trying to, make plays. When you play a team like that, you can't get frustrated. Our guys want to create negative plays. When you do that, you become very undisciplined in your gap control. And that's what happened to us a lot. Now, you give Arkansas credit. They do a good job running the football, but far too many situations where we don't, we're not in the right gap, our eyes are in the wrong gap, and things like that. Don't get aligned on the 1/3 down, or the long throw to the corner, to the tight end there. So that was disappointing. But again, offensively, two huge plays to Solomon Patton, scoring before half, a textbook of how we would want to do that. Run the ball, spread them out a little bit, get the ball to the -40, and then go hurry up. So again, great job by Brent, our offensive staff, Tyler Murphy, orchestrating our offense. I think again did a fantastic job in the game of just managing our team. And I've been criticized a little bit of saying manage. That's the greatest compliment you can give a quarterback. Tom Brady is a great game manager. It's about converting third downs. It's about completing passes. It's about getting your offense in and out of the right runs, the right passes, protections, taking the ball to the right spot, taking care of the football, scoring points, moving your team having confidence in you. I mean, that's one of the greatest compliments you can have as a quarterback, as a game manager, a guy that does what he's supposed to do. I don't know where that became a bad word in the coaching profession, but that's what I think anyways. Huge punt return by Trey Burton for 31 yards, flipped the field for us to really change the field position. Disappointed with how we ended the game defensively, just some silly penalties. We don't need to, that can't be part of our game. We had played pretty penalty-free to that point, and they're just very disappointed with that. But got a lot of things we can clean up, certainly, but very pleased with the win. They got a good football team. Brett does a good job. They got some good young talent. They play hard. They play physical. They play tough. And they're going to win some football games. But I was pleased with coming out of it with a 30-10 win.
Jason.
Will, what did you see from Tyler tonight specifically in terms of just the way his awareness in the pocket and knowing when things were coming?
That's a talent. That's a talent. It's having awareness and knowing when to step up. A couple really nice throws. I know a couple across the middle, especially in the first half, and then there in the third quarter of stepping up in the pocket, and we had the climb concept coming from the other side. I think he did a great job of finding the window, but stepping up and buying a little bit of time. But again, off-rhythm plays for a quarterback are very difficult for a defense to defend. That when he starts moving and scrambling, as far as whether you're in man or zone concepts defensively, you got to match the routes again. So it's hard. It's very difficult to do. You can't ever account for that. And that's something that he does a very good job of. We've become a very good scramble team with him, and our receivers have done a nice job of executing it too. Our running backs, our tight ends, everybody. And I thought we protected, the quarterback well tonight. I really did. That's a good front four. They've got 15 sacks coming into this game. I think they may have had 1 or 2 tonight. But we didn't have many negative plays.
And how important was his throwing in the first half when you guys couldn't get the run game going?
Yeah,
it
no
seemed
question.
Like they knew he was going to be throwing.
Yep. I mean, I thought he threw a couple nice corner balls. Trey could have converted one on the other sideline there, converted a nice one late in the game. But, the drive before half was really exciting to see, to be able to get that in motion. That's something I've been seeing in practice against a pretty good defense for a while. So to see that was very pleasing.
Question up here in the front, Coach.
Well, what did you see on Lucez's interception? Is that the type of play that you've just been waiting to see for him all year?
Well, I've seen that play a lot. I haven't seen him finish that play. You know, I've seen him be in that position, and he bats them down sometimes. And I was to finish on that play, to create some momentum, to get that crowd going, and the top came off the place when it happened. But I thought it was good pressure on the play. It was very good coverage. We executed the coverage very well. We're in a man-match situation, and the kids really executed well, and he was there to make the play.
With his talent, is that something you're expecting more from him? Or what you've expected
Well, I think
more
he's
from him?
played pretty good. You know, I don't know. We seem to all say he's not playing good. You know, he hadn't had a lot of balls thrown his way this year. I mean, that's a little bit of that is how many opportunities have you had? Had the one situation on the deep comeback on their sideline there, probably was early on that. I think that was a good call as far as the pass interference was concerned. But he's an aggressive player, and the way we play, some of those calls are going to happen because we don't play off of them 30 yards like a lot of people do.
We're going to go Joel in the back and then Zach in front.
Coach, how much has Solomon developed as a playmaker? Most of what he did tonight was after he got the ball on the pass.
Right. Well, again, I've said it all along. Sometimes when you know your opportunity is there to be a player, somewhat like Tyler Murphy going into training camp, all of a sudden he's in the spotlight, his number's being called, your urgency picks up, and I saw that with Solomon in spring, and then everyone told me what a great summer he had, but then when we got in fall camp, I saw it. This guy was a refined route runner. He really went in and really was hitting the right steps, the right depths, catching the ball well, not just a speed sweep guy, not just a specialty guy. And we told him, we said, we need you to be a guy that can help us in the game, that can be a refined route runner, and that's something he has done. So you got to credit the young man and his work ethic, and he's having a special year.
Zach up front and then Chris in the back. Zach.
Staying on Patton, can you just talk about how huge his touchdowns were to end the half and then come out there kind of gave you guys the advantage in the game?
No question. I mean, he's a guy that if he gets a step, he's a hard time catching him. Our guys can't catch him, and we can run. So on our guys on the back end. So when he gets a step on top of you, he's a hard guy to catch. But again, he's catching the ball extremely well. I just can't say enough about it. He's a great young man. He's fun to be around. He's fun to coach. He's a guy that's just enjoys being a Florida Gator. He's a great kid.
And his yards after catch, it's not just touchdowns. I mean, he's converted a lot of third downs for you guys with that. How nice is that to have in the offense?
Because of the run game, we've created a lot of one-on-ones, and he's a slippery guy. One missed tackle, and it could be the distance. And so when you're able to have guys like that are able to make those sort of plays, it changes your thought process as a defensive coordinator. You can play all that bump and run man-to-man is great until you miss a tackle. There's nobody left. So those are things to me that we've put that in the minds of some defensive coordinators. They realize they may have to mix more zone, more split safety to give us better run boxes.
We'll go Chris and then Kevin.
You said you expected a physical test, the two, fullback, running back that they have on offense. How closely did that match what you expected out there in terms of physicality?
I fully expected it, and we just didn't play blocks very well, and gap control wasn't very good there in the first half. And we came back in the second half and played the runs better. The game changed a little bit, and they had to throw a little bit more. So we don't, our guys still need to get better. That's for sure.
Kevin over here to the left.
Based on the missed extra point, is the kicking competition still open going into next week, or how do you view where you're at?
Yeah, it's open.
Question in the middle right here.
Coach, can you take us through what happened with John Harrison's play?
John's an emotional guy, and he lost his temper and did something he shouldn't have done. And man, he was ejected from the game, rightfully so. So we'll handle it. We'll move forward.
Any final questions for Coach?
Did he make contact with the officials? That what?
I'm not going to get into all that. I mean, I just did something he shouldn't have done.
Update on injury.
Marcus Roberson's the only guy that I know of. Jared Davis got a laceration on his cheek, and should be fine for next week. But they did not want to put him back in the game because there was a lot of swelling on it, and they were afraid it might split again. It happened on the opening kickoff, I believe. But Marcus Roberson, I think, should be good for next week. Again, went out. We were in a more regular package situations. We weren't playing as much sub defense until late in the game, obviously. But he's we just got to give him a little bit more time. Again, I thought he ran well this week. He practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and just came out in the game and didn't feel totally right. But I think he should be fine for this week. We didn't have enough sub groupings to risk it with him right now. We need him to be full speed for next week.